Hi everyone, I'm Lara from gosimpli.ca, and today I have an upper body workout that's going to give you strong, lean arms. We're going to be doing exercises in groups of 2, A-B format, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest. The second time we do each of those exercises, we're going to add 15 seconds of pulses before you get that 15-second rest. I've included both a warm-up and a cool-down, so you don't need to add anything to this workout. All you need is hopefully a variety of dumbbells. If you don't have anything, even doing this with body weight is still a good workout. I'll get my timer ready and we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to get ready with our warm-up here, and our first move is going to be arm swings across the body. So we're just going to swing our arms across and pull them back. So when you're doing it, you're trying to sort of arch your back forward and then pull it. So arch. Okay, and really sort of warm up that upper back. If you don't want to stand still, if you want to shuffle sideways, that's totally fine. Just make sure you're really sort of pushing that range of motion a little bit and more as you get more warmed up. Next up we have arm swings up and down. So you probably noticed we're doing each of these warm-up exercises for 30 seconds and there's no break in between. This is a very upper body specific workout. We're not doing any jumping in this workout. We are doing sort of supersets back to back, so our heart will feel like it's doing some cardio, but the rest of our body isn't really doing any cardio moves, so it's just the upper body that we're really getting warm here. We're going to do some arm circles. We're going to alternate forwards and backwards here. So one coming forward, and then one going backward. And again, if you want to stand perfectly still, that's fine. I'm just someone who moves a lot. Just a few more seconds here, and then we're going to move into alternating wrist circles. Okay, so just hold your hands out, and you're going to rotate one direction, and then the other. We're going to be doing some pulses, as I mentioned, and our wrists do a lot of stabilizing through those pulse moves, so it's good to give them a little bit of range of motion here. Next up we have arm pull down, so we're just going to go and then pull down. And really pretend like you're sort of pulling taffy from your ceiling so that you're using your muscles as you do this pull down. So you stretch up and pull down, and you should feel those back muscles contracting. You should feel the arm muscles contracting. A little bit even into the chest. And our last warm-up is just an overhead bend and reach. So just grab your fingers together and just bend off to one side and then go to the other. You don't need to hold this stretch for too long because we're just warming up. We just want some range of motion here. Great. Grab your weights and we'll go ahead and get started with the workout. I've got my weights all ready, so we're going to get started with a front raise. A front raise is a rather challenging range of motion. I'm just using 5 pounds, feet shoulder width apart. We're just going to lift up to just above shoulder height and then back down. So we're trying to have good posture. I've got my feet about hip distance apart here. Got my legs nice and firm, but my knees they're not locked tight. There's a little bend there. I've got my abs tight. My bum is squeezed. And even 5 pounds is a real challenge. Doing this without weight is a real challenge. So remember, there's 45 seconds of this, and then we'll get a rest, and we'll go on to the B exercise, which is going to be a pullover. Okay, so I have 15 seconds rest. I can lift a little bit more for my pullover, so I'm going to switch to a heavier weight. I'm going to lie down on my mat here, You don't need a mat for this. As long as you're on, sort of a soft surface. So go up into a bridge, arms overhead. You're going to let them go down towards the mat, and then back to straight up and down. And here your knees are pointing forward, your bum is tight, your abs are nice and firm. Try not to touch the floor behind you. If you do, that's okay, but you're trying not to let your arms rest back there. They should be working through this whole range of motion. Just a few more seconds, and then we'll get another short rest to switch our weights. Okay, so I'm going to go switch back to my lighter weight again. We're going back to that front raise. And this time we're going to do our 45 seconds and then 15 seconds of pulsing right away without a break. So we start with that raise. Remember all the rules from last time. So your knees are soft, your bum is contracted, your abs are held firm, your back is nice and straight. You're using your arms to lift the weight, so you're not leaning way back and trying to throw them up there. There's no momentum. So you've got about 15 seconds left, and then we're going to go into those pulses. And the pulses are where the burnout really happens. The pulses they're uncomfortable, to say the least. Okay, so up here, and just pulse them just a little bit up and down. And if you need to close your eyes or make grunting noises, or if that helps you get through it, by all means. And 15 seconds starts to feel really long. Awesome job. So take your 15 seconds rest, switch your weights for your pullover. And back down on your mat here, or on the floor. Like I said, you don't need a mat. Okay, bum up, arms up. We're going back, and then straight up. I will let you know that sometimes I don't really need a mat here on the floor, but sometimes I grab a mat because, well, the pink mat belongs to my daughter, and the orange mat belongs to my son. And they're very excited that I'm finally taking the time to create workout videos, because I talked about it for so long, and they want to be a part of it. And so whenever I do a workout that may need a mat, it's, Mommy, can you use my mat today? So I have to make sure, of course, in fairness, to alternate whose mat I'm using each time. So now you know whose mat I'm using on a regular basis. Okay, pulses. So you're going down, not quite to the floor and not all the way back up straight. Just in, naturally sort of that most challenging part. Keep breathing through it. Great job. That's the first set of 2 exercises done. And now we're moving on to a reverse fly. It's another challenging one, so I'm going to use light weights again. Okay, so we're going to bend over at the waist, and our arms are going to come up to the side, and then back down. So you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. That bum is sticking out. Those knees are just sort of slightly bent. You're not way down in a squat, but you're not totally locked out either. And again, remember that moving slower is actually harder for our muscles. They are working harder when we go slow. So that's less than 10 seconds to go. Excellent job. I'm going to switch my weights for a chest fly. I can lift a bit heavier for that. And I'm going to get down on my mat. I'm going to put my bum up again just for some more range of motion. I'm going to open to the side and then pull back up. So I'm really using my upper arms and my chest muscles here to really pull those weights back up. And again, when they go out to the sides, I'm not actually hitting the floor, I'm just getting really close. so that my arms are working the whole time through this exercise. Just a few more seconds here. You're doing a great job. Okay, I'm going to go back to my lighter weights again for my reverse fly. Okay, so I'm just going to get ready here. Bending over at the waist, knees are bent, out to the side, and back down nice and slow. Now this round is going to have our pulses on it. And of course they're going to be very challenging. If you find the pulses really challenging, drop the weight altogether and do the pulses without weight. Your muscles are already tired, they've already worked really hard. They're still going to get lots of benefits from doing those pulses without weights. Don't hurt yourself just to try and do pulses. It's not worth it. It's not going to actually help you gain any strength. Okay, get ready for those pulses, arms up. And they're not quite all the way at the top. They're not all the way at the bottom. They're in that really challenging middle range here. Try to keep good posture in your back alignment. Oh, excellent job. Those are really hard. Okay, back to that chest fly. Got a little bit heavier weights. I'm down on the mat. My bum is up, arms up, open to the side, and back up. This workout is about 20 minutes long, but because we're going back and forth between exercises and adding pulses, it goes by really quite quickly. And we're getting a really comprehensive upper body workout. Okay, and now we're on to those pulses. So open wide and just up and down. Oh boy. We can do this. Just a couple more seconds. Well done. Now we're into our last group of 2 exercises. We're going to start with a hammer curl. I can lift a little bit heavier for this for the first round anyways. I may not be able to for the second. So I'll show you this way. You've got hands by your side, you're curling up. With a hammer curl, your palms are facing each other. So you've got your elbows tucked in by your side, your abs are tight, your bum is tight, your knees are soft, and you're lifting just with those arms, okay? We're not swinging them up. We're not using any momentum. All of those things make the exercise easier, which is great at the moment, but certainly isn't going to get us to our goals of having nice shapely arms. Excellent. I'm going to switch off my weights now. We're going to an overhead tricep. I have to use a little bit lighter weight for this. For a tricep, we're going to have those weights up over our head here. And then we're going to dip them back behind us and straighten out our arms. So we're trying to keep those elbows close to our head. We've got our knees soft, we've got our bum tight, we've got our abs pulled in. And remember to go slowly so we get good range of motion and we're making those muscles work. Almost done. Great job. We're going back to those bicep curls, and I was finding it really challenging near the end of the last one, so I'm going to stick with this weight for my hammer curls, okay? Just a couple more seconds here of rest. Okay, so I'm going to curl it up and let it back down. So this is the round where we're going to add those pulses on. Remember to keep breathing. Our muscles need oxygen to work properly. Just a few more seconds of this until we hit those pulses. Okay, so hold it right here in that hard spot and just short little pulses. And those biceps are just burning. Whew. Wow. Okay, let those relax a minute, shake it out a bit. I'm going to use the same weight for my overhead tricep. So I don't need to switch. If you need to switch, go ahead. Okay, weights are up. We're going to go back and then straighten them out. Tricep is a much smaller muscle group than the biceps, so it's not surprising that we need less weight to work it. Just about 10 seconds left here, and then we're going to go into those pulses. And part of me is wishing I had dropped my weight, but I think I can work through it. Okay, so down about halfway, and just short little pulses here. Nice deep breaths. Oh boy. Oh wow, that one burned. Okay. Let's get ready for our cool down. So for our cool down, we're going to do 30-second exercises again. We're going to start with arm swings up and down. And there's no break between these, so just 30 seconds and then right into the next. Some of them are stretches, and some of them have some range of motion to them. Now we're just going to do some wrist circles here. So it doesn't matter where your arms are. You can have them straight out in front of you. You can have them off to the side, wherever it works for you. Just make sure that you're switching direction when you do them. Next up, we're going to be doing arm circles again. So we're just going to do one forward and then one backward. It feels so nice at the end here after we've worked our muscles so hard to give them a good stretch out. We're going to do a cross stretch over with the left arm. I know a lot of women out there, like you, like me, like I was once upon a time, are really afraid to lift much when they do weightlifting. Don't be. We're really not capable of putting on huge bulk when we lift muscles or weights for our muscles. But what we do is totally change the shape of our body. And so it's the best way to really change what you look like. Instead of struggling, switch it to the other side, to try and lose 15 pounds. Lifting a lot of weight will A, help you lose that weight, and B, change the shape to what you believe will be more desirable looking. And then you will be definitely more satisfied overall. So don't be afraid to lift weights. It's really, really good for us. Okay, next up we're going to do a tricep stretch on the left side. So just putting that hand up behind your back between those shoulder blades as far as you can, using your right arm to just guide that left elbow down. And looking up, straight ahead. Just a few more seconds here. Now we're just going to switch to the right side. So I'll turn around and show you with that. So now I've got the right hand between the shoulder blades, and the left hand is guiding the right elbow, pushing down. And again, we're looking straight ahead here. Last one here is a chest expansion. Take those hands behind your back, and we're going to bend over with this. Okay, so we'll get a bit in the lower back there, a little bit in the hamstrings, and then that upper back, the arms, even into the armpits are getting a nice, lovely stretch out here. Good job, everyone. We're all done for today. Hopefully those arms are feeling the work that you've given to them. Let me know in the comments below if you've liked this workout, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all the workouts I make. Thanks so much. See you again soon. To keep up to date with the latest workouts, subscribe to my YouTube channel and click like on Facebook. Have a workout request? Send it at gosimpli.ca/contact.